This right here is your dream Wrangler. I'll include a link to the Jeep Insanity's website in the description down below. Also include a link to my car buying guide. Let's get right into the video. Powering this is a 3.6 liter V6 that goes through an 8-speed. It puts out 285 horsepower and then 260 pound-feet of torque. The more of you that subscribe, the more access I get to cars to review for you, so I'd really appreciate it if you'd help out with that. Now this one has the snorkel. This is an option that you can get on the AEV Wranglers. You also have the cool wraparound decal on the hood. Now this is an upgraded Rubicon, so you've got the LED turn signals as well as the upgraded headlights. And then AEV adds their own custom bumper to the front. This bumper relocates the front camera so you can still use that. You've got lights added to it as well as a winch. And it definitely gives the front end a much more aggressive, cool kind of off-road expedition look. And AEV also adds diff covers to the Wrangler. Now this has the upgraded 37-inch tall tires wrapped around 17-inch wheels. And you'll note they've painted the wheels to match the exterior color on this Wrangler. Now this has AEV's shock kit from Bilstein, but it's tuned specifically for the Wrangler. It also comes with a steering stabilizer, and you guys can see the whole kind of reservoir setup here off to the side. I mean, look at the whole setup there underneath. It's really cool to see. Now being a Rubicon, we do have rock rails from the factory. And if we take a look at the side profile with those larger tires, with the raised air intake, it definitely gives it, again, a much cooler stance and look. And here's a quick look at the shock setup in the rear, by the way. Now this has the extra gas storage wrapped around the tire, and it does have a full-size tire with a wheel that is also painted to match. For those of you wondering, it definitely increases the weight of the tailgates, and if this is too much for you to handle, get in the gym, weakling. We also have mud flaps added to the rear with this special bumper, and you'll note the tire carrier is perfectly integrated through the bumper, and it actually puts the weight of this whole tire system in the frame, it looks like. And that'll sum things up for the exterior. Now this particular one does have a special interior added, so taking a look at the back seats here, you've got AEV there on the headrest, and then you've got these upgraded leather seats. And you have the same setup with the front seats too. You do also get AEV there on the gauge cluster. Yes, this is built off of a Rubicon with a 2-speed transfer case, as well as diff locks front and rear, off-road plus, and a sway bar disconnect. Now this does also come at a price, so I forgot to mention there's also upgraded skid plates added to this, which is really important. But yeah, you can see all the standard equipment with this package, and this one has quite a few options added to, including the better shocks. And yes, it does add up pretty quickly, especially the leather and everything. $97,225 is the total MSRP. Let's see how this performs. Let us set off in this loaded up AEV. Now, if you guys have followed the channel for more than a couple years, then you know that this is like, this with the 392 is my dream Jeep. I love the stuff that AEV does, and you know, the V6, and we'll talk about the V6 in today's video, but yeah, I love this whole setup. The only downside about Wranglers is I've got really long legs. I'm about 6 foot on a good day. That's how much I'm slouching, but I'm like all legs. And so the Wrangler, being close to the steering wheel, it's not exactly the most comfortable for someone like me. So the V6, it can actually move the 37s, surprisingly. Yeah, it can actually move them. Now, there's a few things that are really nice. The steering stabilizer helps out the handling quite a bit. Like, this actually corners for a Wrangler. Holy guacamole. Now, I've reviewed the Extreme Recon version of the Wrangler, and this handles better than an Extreme Recon. The Extreme Recon, when you go around corners, kind of feels a little bit floaty. Like, a regular Rubicon actually handles really well. With 33-inch tall tires and the standard suspension, that actually handles well. This doesn't handle quite as well as a standard Rubicon, but like I said, better than an Extreme Recon. You know, the torque isn't bad. Torque is not bad. It's actually pretty smooth with the 8-speed and everything. And I'm surprised, these are aggressive tires, these mud terrains. Pretty sure they're mud terrains. And the heat's getting to me again, of course. And anyways, they're not bad. Like, the ride quality on this is actually really good. I purposely drove my Grenadier up today to kind of, I'm not doing a side-by-side comparison because I just don't, they're just not, like, you know, this with 37s versus the Grenadier. Now, the Grenadier is kind of more comparable against the standard Rubicon. But I just wanted to kind of see how they would drive back to back, and this actually drives, because I love how the Grenadier drives in terms of the suspension and everything, and that's really tight. This is just as good with 37s, which is crazy. Man, this is seriously nice. Like, the dampening's really good over the bumps. The braking's a little bit iffy. A little bit iffy with the 37s. It's not bad. It's just you feel the weight of the tires. Man, I'm surprised these tires, they're, you know, I hear them, but they're not bad. Man, this makes me want to get a Wrangler again. This, I mean, this is no sports car by any means, but this thing can actually go around a corner. The Extreme Recon sucks over corners and bumps. This does not. Wow, it's very controllable. It's very, very controllable. And you know, the JL Wrangler's been up for quite a few years. They've, you know, tweaked the interior over the years. This newest iteration, it's got some nice things. I like the new steering wheel quite a bit with the synthetic material. I really do like how this drives though, guys. This is nice. I'm actually gonna, here, we're gonna go back to the back lot. So something that I noticed about the Extreme Recon is when I went over a really big bump at speed, the whole car just came unwound. Like, I had zero control. Now, a Rubicon doesn't do that. The Rubicon 33s does not do that. So I wanted to see, man, of course this person's going slow. Why you gotta do me like this? Okay. So we should be able to have enough speed to be able to, okay, coming in hot. That stays pretty darn planted. And that's, I took that turn quicker than I would, like, especially off-road. If I was going around, like, if I was taking a turn that sharp, I wouldn't be going that fast most of the time. I purposely took that quicker. Should I buy a Wrangler? I'd have to, because again, I'd go 392. You can't, I gotta have the V8. I'd have to trade my 250 Land Cruiser and the Grenadier. But I know I already owned a 392 Wrangler, but man, this thing drives so well. There's always the debate in my mind. It's like, do I own cars because they're good for YouTube content, or do I should I just buy something that I really like and just keep it for a long time? I'm kind of leaning towards the latter. Again, it wallows a little bit, but for a Wrangler, for a body on frame lifted 37-inch tall tire SUV, like, this is no Bronco Raptor, but in terms of the dampening and handling and all that, but man, is this good. Let's see this little dip here. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think. Should I make a bad decision? I think it'd be a good decision, but also a bad decision. What are your thoughts?